Hello, everybody. My name is Katina Morrison, and you have reached the Inflamed Sisters Thriving Podcast. Welcome to the Inflamed Sisters Thriving Podcast, a safe space created to guide women living with chronic illness to uncover their purpose by doing what they were really meant to do despite chronic illness, move in power by advocating for themselves, and accelerate their growth in health, career, and business. You will learn how to stop hiding and start thriving. We will inspire, educate, and motivate you as we show you inflamed sisters thrive together always. My name is Katina Morrison, and I am a corporate nurse and chronic illness coach, as well as founder and CEO of Nurse Loves Essentials. Today, you are with me as we have our Arthritis Awareness Month special. And guess what? I have a very special guest with me today in order to raise awareness for arthritis with us. And that amazing person is the one and only Ashley Nicole.
Hi,
Welcome, my
Katina.
sister.
Thank you, my sister. So happy to be here with you and everyone listening today. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And one of the wonderful things about today's show is that it is sponsored by an amazing company, Two Better Days. We're going to learn more about that company, their brand, and what they are doing for those who have conditions like ours a little later on in the show. But for now, can you introduce yourself to us, sis?
Absolutely. I am Coach Ashley Nicole, the founder and coach at RA Warrior Fitness. The RA stands for, guess what? Rheumatoid arthritis. I am an 18-year rheumatoid arthritis warrior, and I have made it my mission to empower women living with rheumatoid arthritis and other autoimmune diseases to improve their quality of life through faith, food, and fitness while eliminating negative self-talk and strenuous exercise. And I am super excited to be here today to help bring awareness to Arthritis Awareness Month, as I have worked really hard over the last few years to turn my pain into purpose to help other women like me to become the warrior that they already have inside of them. And so I'm so excited to be here and can't wait to jump into the topics today.
Excellent. Well, that is the reason why I had to have you because there is no better person to do this special with than my RA sister.
Yes.
Ashley and I met last year around July, actually, during the time that I had just recently started my Instagram page. And at that time, we came across each other in the comment sections, I believe, of other posts of fellow RA sisters and inflamed sisters thriving or others that we saw. And in those comments, something just one of us reached out to each other and we were like, you know what? I don't see too many on the gram who
Yes.
are actually raising awareness who look like us.
Right.
So let's connect. Let's see what we can do to, join our voices to raise awareness for this important topic, such as
Mhm.
arthritis. We both have that in common that we have rheumatoid arthritis. And it has been such a blessing to have you in my life and to be able to join forces in raising awareness and inspiring and educating and motivating each other and others through the use of the social media platforms and now this podcast.
Now, this podcast, I tell you, I just love how God is just continuing to elevate you and me and just allowing us to get the message out to even more people. I mean, talk about enlarging the territory. So I just love how He's using us and so many others and allowing us to use our platforms to really be a voice, for the voiceless. Because I really don't think a lot of people used to talk about it the way that we do, openly and also in a positive way. So that's one thing that I do love about what we're doing, is that we're very transparent in our journeys. Every day isn't the best. We do have our hard days, but we talk about the positive ways and how we can thrive together.
Exactly.
Mhm.
What we often find is that people have, at times within the chronic illness community, you may find that there's a lack of that positive mindset at times.
Mhm. That's what it is.
We talk a lot about that toxic positivity or toxic negativity, but we want to be somewhere right in the middle where we're realistic but very hopeful for the
Yes,
future, where
absolutely.
we can encourage and motivate people. But on this Arthritis Awareness Month special, one of the things that I want to get out there is first to let people know when it comes to arthritis, some of the facts that many don't know or understand about it. And then we're also going to show you that there's more to arthritis than just pain,
Mhm.
than just fatigue, than just disability. There's another side of it that that we present on our platforms. So, just to explain what arthritis is for Arthritis Awareness Month, arthritis is the swelling and tenderness of one or more joints. The main symptoms of arthritis is usually joint pain and stiffness, which typically worsens with age. The most common types of arthritis are osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. And of course, we have rheumatoid arthritis.
Mhm.
But when we look at arthritis as well, we've talked about how many people have arthritis in the United States.
Mhm.
58.5 million US adults have it. Can you
Yes,
believe that? That's a
yes.
lot of people.
It's a lot of people. It really is. And I believe that includes children too, because the juvenile arthritis, it affects children too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we talked about how there's several different kinds of it. There's, of course, the
Mhm.
osteoarthritis and the rheumatoid arthritis, but we also have spondyloarthritis,
Mhm.
psoriatic arthritis, and as you mentioned, juvenile arthritis. The
Mhm.
problem with these conditions is that there's really not enough research on it to provide, for instance, a cure.
Right.
Oftentimes there's medications that help to treat the symptoms but not
Mhm.
actually cure the condition. So this is why we want to raise awareness, because we want as many people as possible to be aware of how many are affected by this condition that causes things like, as mentioned, the pain, stiffness, swelling, decreased
Mhm.
range of motion, for some disability.
Mhm.
And then our condition, rheumatoid arthritis, of course, is when the immune system actually turns on its own body and attacks the joints, the ligaments, and the tissues. And this is what leads to pain, stiffness,
Yeah.
chronic fatigue,
Mhm.
as well as symptoms such as deformities, if
Mhm.
not treated appropriately or caught at the right time. So, since you have all of this and you are the RA Warrior Fitness, what I want you to share with us is tell us about your personal journey with this condition, with rheumatoid arthritis, and how it's impacted your life in the early stages.
Sure, sure. So in the early stages, I started experiencing symptoms when I was 21. I was 21, I was in college. And also, while I was in college, I was working a part time job at a local clothing store. And so I started having issues with my hands, and I thought that it was just the overuse of my hands, folding the clothes and hanging the clothes and cleaning out the fitting rooms. And I'd also played the saxophone for years. So it's like, maybe it's just carpal tunnel. My hands are just tired. But then one day, after I'd experienced these symptoms for probably a few weeks, I woke up in my dorm room and my whole body was inflamed. Like had moved from my hands just all over my body. My legs hurt, knees, feet, everything hurt. And I'm just like, I thought I was in a bad dream or something. So I managed to get up out of bed and tried to comb my hair and brush my teeth and put on clothes, and everything was just so difficult to do. So I finally called my mom and was like, hey, something's going on, like my whole body hurts, I don't know what it is. So we ended up going to urgent care, and they didn't really run any tests. They just kind of, looked at me and barely touched me and was like, just take some Tylenol or leave, and you'll be fine. So I was like, okay, this seems like it needs more than Tylenol or Aleve. But honestly, that's what I did. I went ahead and just took some Aleve. And so those symptoms started to subside, honestly, probably about 2 to 3 days later. But my hands were still very tender. And that's where it remained. So even now to this day, I really just had the issues with my hands and wrists. And for 6 years, that's what I did. I continued just to take the Aleve until I could afford, some decent insurance, and I was able to go and get diagnosed. And so I got officially diagnosed in 2010. So by the time that I got my diagnosis, I had severe joint damage in my hands and wrists. So you can even see, for those of you who are watching the video, you can actually see some of the deformities here. My hands are starting to change here. My left hand is the worst one. But if I had caught this a lot sooner, I could have stopped some of that from happening. But in the process of all of that, I just didn't realize that what I was doing was making my arthritis worse. I had actually gained a total of 65 pounds by the time I was diagnosed. And so I wasn't at the time educated on anti-inflammatory foods and the fact that movement is medicine and motion is lotion and I should be exercising and all of these things. And so, it really took me finally getting diagnosed to start saying, hey, I need to start making my health a priority. And so in the process, I fell in love with health and fitness, and then ultimately decided to become a personal trainer in 2018. And so that's a little bit of the early stages. So I think I forgot to mention that when I did finally get diagnosed, my rheumatologist said we can't reverse the damage that's been done, but we can stop the progression. And so that's what we've been actively doing since the 12 years we've been together is stopping that progression.
Understandable. Wow, it's so what a journey you've had. And that's the importance of having a special like this and why I partnered up with Two Better Days to sponsor this episode
Yes.
because it's so important that we raise awareness on this so that others who may be having similar symptoms as
Mhm.
we had can take the precautions and do the things that they need to now to prevent that damage because once the damage is done, it cannot be reversed. But what we can do is learn ways to cope with and reduce the progression of it with the use of certain types of medications or natural and holistic methods, such as the ones that To Better Days offers. So,
Mhm.
one of the things that I loved about hearing your journey, though, is that despite having rheumatoid arthritis, despite having the deformities that you now have in your
Mhm.
hands and at times the pain and other symptoms you might have to deal with because
Mhm.
us we sometimes have that brain fog that comes
Yes,
along with it as well,
absolutely.
and chronic fatigue that is associated with it as well. But it's important for us to focus on you still started your business as a
Mhm.
fitness instructor in
Yes.
2018 and actually despite having a chronic illness, autoimmune disease and rheumatoid
Mhm.
arthritis, you did it.
Mhm.
What pushed you to do it and what was the transformation that took place in your life as a result?
So, like I said, after I had my own transformation, that really gave me the passion to want to help other people, knowing that regardless of what my physical limitations were, despite arthritis, that I was able to achieve the results that I did. And so, even when I had posed the idea to someone that was very close to me about wanting to become a personal trainer, I wasn't encouraged at all. He had actually said something like, how can you become a personal trainer? You have rheumatoid arthritis. How are you going to show someone how to do something you can't do? And so it really deflated me a bit, but it also added fuel to my fire. And so that made me go even harder. So not only did I get certified as a personal trainer, but I went ahead and took more tests and got more certifications to become a master trainer. So I'm certified in fitness, nutrition, endurance training, strength training, and personal training, which qualifies me as a master trainer. And because I still had some of those self-doubt and those words that kind of stuck to me in the back of my head, I didn't use my certification immediately. It wasn't until 2020 that I decided I was finally ready to walk in my purpose. And so, I had honestly walked away from some negative relationships. I walked away from all negativity and things that weren't in alignment with where I knew God was trying to take me. And so when 2020 came, I prayed to God during a fast that I did with my church. I was like, I'm ready to walk in my purpose. And it's so funny because literally that was the subject of the 21-day fast that we did, was purpose. And so, I spent that time really just talking to God and trying to figure out where it was He wanted me to go. And so He spoke to me while I was in a fitness class. And I just heard RA Warrior Fitness, RA Warrior Fitness. And at that moment, I was trying to determine a modification for something that I couldn't do. And it was clear as day, RA Warrior Fitness. I was like, okay, all right. And then one of my friends had also hosted an event called Godfidence, where we all had come together and talked about the desires of our heart and things that we wanted to see come to, to fruition in 2020. And all of us had these big goals and big dreams. And I do want to go on record saying that I would say about 80% of us in that room, we manifested that, and like we're doing what we said we were going to do that day, even despite the pandemic. And so I got my LLC at the end of January 2020. And then fast forward to February, I started building my own website and found a platform that I wanted to put my program on. And then lo and behold, the pandemic hit. And it's so funny because it was my vision anyway to do virtual because I wanted to reach more people. But little did I know the pandemic was going to hit, gyms were going to shut down, and everybody was probably going to be wanting to work out from home anyway. So when I launched at the end of March of 2020, I had over 60 people to join my program. And so it has since evolved over the last couple of years. And, I can honestly say that I've helped over 200 women to transform their life in some type of way through faith, food, and fitness. Those 3 F's are super, super important. And so I am on a mission this year to help 100 more because I know that, God will continue to enlarge my territory to be there and to be able to reach more women like myself. And you said something very, very profound just a few minutes ago about how, I feel like we're here and we've gone through so much to help people not go through what we went through. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember how you phrased it, but the fact that my doctor couldn't reverse the damage because I went so long. The
Mm-hmm.
goal is for us. I feel like God is using us to be a voice and help other people to learn from us and what we went through, things to not do. And so that we can actually lead them and give them guidance and coach them on, what they should be doing. And I love that you always, really focus on advocacy and encouraging, your people to advocate for themselves. Because if you don't, who will? Who will?
Exactly.
And so I'm just very thankful. And I can honestly say that I'm thankful for my rheumatoid arthritis. As weird as that may sound, I'm thankful for it because it has molded me into the woman I am today. And it has helped me to reach people, to give them hope and to give them an example of what it is to be able to thrive with it. So
Exactly. Like
yeah,
we say, inflamed sisters thriving
thriving
together.
together.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thriving together.
And raising awareness in this way is a way that helps us to keep people to help people to stop hiding and start thriving, because oftentimes people cope with conditions such as arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, all of these conditions, but they live with it in silence. They hide and they push through, and oftentimes they may neglect their symptoms. They may be experiencing medical gaslighting where their symptoms and their feelings are minimalized, and as a result they don't get the care and treatment that they deserve in the right length of time. Well, a special like this is to encourage you that if you are experiencing joint pain, swelling, tenderness, if you are experiencing chronic fatigue and other symptoms that may be associated with various forms of arthritis, stop hiding and start thriving by advocating for yourself. Go
Yes.
and find a doctor who is going to listen to you and provide you the treatment and the care that you deserve. Do not wait for someone who is basically gaslighting you to actually acknowledge your symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Go find someone that will. Getting a second opinion, a third opinion, also having someone refer you to someone who is willing to, who is going to be the best suited person to care for you is going to be important. So
Absolutely.
in raising awareness, I want to raise advocacy through as far as I can for everyone. Do not allow yourself to go for extended periods of time without getting the care and the treatment that you deserve, because we're an example for you. I know for me, living with symptoms of arthritis since I was about 11 years old, maybe even younger, which were told to me to be just growing pains. And, it can't be arthritis. You're too young. Well, juvenile arthritis does
It's
exist.
the thing.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. And then as I progressed in life, those symptoms, oh no, if you think of swelling, you'll see swelling. If you think of pain, you'll feel pain. Those types of terms were told to me. But I want anyone else that could potentially be living with arthritis and hasn't gotten the treatment that they deserve to definitely seek alternatives, such
Mm-hmm.
as a second opinion, a third opinion, and then also consider natural and holistic methods that may benefit you in improving how your symptoms are managed, such as the products that To Better Days has. While these products are not used to cure or to treat conditions, it can be something that can help to relieve your symptoms or improve how you cope and deal with the symptoms that you're experiencing. So
Absolutely.
you told us a lot in
Yes.
that, and the fact that you said that you are happy that you're happy that you have arthritis, because it actually seems to be what reinforced your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
because you have a purpose in which you serve people, and
Yeah.
you assist people through faith, food, and fitness with the programs that you have developed as a master
Yes.
fitness instructor. She's not just a fitness instructor. She is a master. You heard that?
Yes.
Fitness instructor. Get
That's
that right. Catch that, y'all. My RA sister is nothing to play with, and I have personally been able to enjoy her program that she recently had, which was Room to Rise.
to rise. That's it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I believe if that program comes around, y'all need to catch that, because it changed it in just that period of time. It changed how I was dealing with some hip pain that I was experiencing. I have arthritis that also affects those areas of my body due to a
Mhm.
traumatic car accident that I was in, and though that thick thigh
The
class,
thick thighs save lives. Yes, thick thighs
girl.
this day.
That thick thigh class saved my life that day, because girl, them hips was
Yes, yes.
clicking, because I have severe instability and arthritis in it, and I
Mhm.
felt so much better after it. So if you ever have an
Mm.
opportunity to join one of her programs and to actually select her as your coach, if you can't select her as your coach, try her challenge.
Yes.
Try her challenge, and you will know this is the coach for you. I was saying to myself, well, why
Thank
haven't I
you.
joined this challenge sooner? Because I got what I needed. Oh, yes, I will be
Yes.
back. I will be back.
Yes, there
So,
will be another one in May. So Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so everybody,
Be
it's
on the lookout
Arthritis
for that.
Awareness Month. So be prepared during this month of May to definitely receive to see what she is offering. When you
Yeah.
hear "room to rise," you better rise on up
Rise on
and
up,
get
warrior.
on in that room.
That's
Okay.
right.
Now, we've talked about what arthritis is. We've talked about how it's impacted lives, about the symptoms. We've even talked about ways in which we've managed it. You've talked about how investing in your fitness, how taking the steps to yourself lose over 65 pounds, the
Mhm.
impact that that has. Yes, weight loss can make a difference for us when we have conditions such as arthritis, but there's other things some of us may be able to manage without medications, but some of us have to use medications like biologics. I personally take Humira, and that particular medicine is the only medicine I take. I was at one time a person that was taking more than 10 medicines.
Mm.
And by implementing natural and holistic methods along with the biologic, I've been able to manage my condition much better. So I
Mhm.
like the way that you have implemented fitness. I implement fitness to a degree, but it's tailored to Tina's needs. You saw me; I'm a little slower
Yes.
than
Listen, it's
some,
all right.
but
Look, motion is lotion. Okay. Just any
yes,
kind of movement is better than no movement. And I
yes,
feel like that's one of the misconceptions for people who are newly diagnosed is that they think that like they can't exercise and that it would make their arthritis worse. But honestly, that is the complete opposite. Our joints were meant to move.
hmm,
And the worst thing you can do is just to sit and do nothing and be stiff. I mean, just even if it's walking for 5 minutes, if you've got to break up your walk throughout the day, any kind of movement is better than no movement. That coupled with making sure that you're eating an anti-inflammatory diet as well. All of that makes a difference. It really does. Just a few lifestyle changes. And like you said, any kind of holistic approach is definitely, going to help ease the symptoms.
exactly. And I
Mhm.
like how you mentioned our favorite subject, which we will have to talk on, and again, is
Yes.
anti-inflammatory nutrition or
Yes,
diet.
yes. We will
And
make that another episode.
yes, that's eating foods that reduce your inflammation. And in another episode, y'all got to come back. We'll address that more deeply.
That's
But when we think about other natural and holistic options, one of them that I've been talking about is the sponsor for this particular episode, To Better Days. To Better Days has a range of fast acting active patches that are completely drug free, easy to apply, and backed by science, shown to boost the health of your nerves, joints, and muscles in a completely safe way. Each patch contains a combination of vitamin D and nutrients that can provide you the relief you need when you need it most. And what I like about this particular product, I tried it myself on a rainy day, and we know how how
oh,
our joints tell us when the rain is coming. I
yes.
placed it on my shoulder, and within minutes, I was feeling relief. And I was not aware of how quickly I would feel that relief after applying it. But I noticed over the course of about 15, 20 minutes and 30 minutes how there was a vast difference between my left shoulder and my right shoulder, because I only placed it on one because I wanted to see, does this really work?
Right.
And let me tell you, it does work. In addition to that, my mother just recently tried them. My mom had placed it on the back. She recently experienced a car accident, and then she also has osteoarthritis.
Mhm.
And I went over and I visited her, and she had one on the back on her leg. She had one, one on her hip, I believe, one on her shoulder. And she was like, Tina, I feel good. She was like, I was really, it gave me such relief because I was actually having a rough day, Tina. And guess what? I'm moving now, so that means I'm doing good. So,
Yes, that's a
I've
blessing.
yeah, I've been sharing the product with different friends and family, and I heard that you got you a
Yes,
selection in
I
the mail
just
too, girl.
I just got my shipment in, so I will probably be trying those tonight because we've had some rainy days, and so I'm definitely going to put that to use, and I can't wait to share how well it has worked for me. I'm sure it will. So
Okay.
great expectations.
Good, good. Definitely
Yeah.
share that.
Mhm.
Now, we've went through everything that in reference to the what I wanted to share. I love the fact that you and I, the RA sisters, were able to come together and really explain that despite having a condition like rheumatoid arthritis, we still can thrive in many aspects of life. And look how Ashley has met her goals. Now, Ashley, I want you get to give us just some closing statements and where we can find you.
Sure, sure. So, one other thing that I failed to mention earlier that I must share, and I'll make this my closing statement, is that don't allow anyone to tell you that you can't do something because of your rheumatoid arthritis. I actually had a situation that happened a couple of weeks ago when I went in for my checkup with my rheumatologist. And I was so excited to see her because I had made some wonderful progress since I last seen her. And I'm doing pretty well now where I only have to see her every 6 months. So I haven't seen her in a little over 6 months. So in that time frame, I decided to compete in a bodybuilding competition. So I'm training for a figure competition. So I was excited to go in and step on that scale and to see that, I had lost weight. I'm leaning out with muscle and everything. And I was just wanting to show her how well I was doing and to tell her how well my joints were doing. And she kind of deflated me a bit. It kind of took me back to years ago when I was told I couldn't be a personal trainer. She was like, your wrists are weak. Your wrists don't move. I want you to be careful. I'm not telling you not to do it, but I'm just telling you the risk. And so, I was very surprised at how she came at me. Like I said, it just really deflated me. But again, it added fuel to my fire. You know your body better than anyone. And the rheumatologists, some of them are just so strict and by the book that they don't really encourage too much, anything outside of that, as far as looking at holistic approaches and lifestyle changes and trying to become stronger in everything. And so don't let anyone tell you that you can't do anything because of your arthritis. Where there's a will, there's a way. And the process may look different than the next person, but that's okay. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you unique. So if the Lord has put something on your heart to do, and if it's something that you strongly desire, I encourage you to go for it, but just be careful, be safe. And so let me grab these wrist straps real quick. I meant to have them in my hand, but I told my rheumatologist, I was like, I keep my wrist wrapped the best that I can. My watch is in the way here, so let me take that off. And this really gives me the ultimate support when I'm lifting weights. And the fact that it has my logo there, RA Warrior Fitness, that's extra protection, extra protection. So, I will say that one statement I always say is that, I may have RA, but RA does not have me. And it doesn't have you either. And it does not define who you are or your abilities. So I want you to remember who you are, know that you are a warrior, you are a conqueror, and anything that you want to accomplish, you can absolutely do. The process will be different, but that's okay. That's what makes you you. And so I'm just so excited and thrilled about this journey that I'm on. And when I win that competition and when I get that trophy or that medal, I will be taking it to my next doctor's appointment to show her that, hey, I did this and anything is possible, especially with the God I serve. And so, so in closing, you can find me on Instagram under Ashnick, ASHNIC _ RA Warrior Fitness. And I also have another account that's just RA Warrior Fitness. You can find me on Facebook at RA Warrior Fitness LLC. And then my website is rawarriorfitness.com. So you can just Google RA Warrior Fitness and you will definitely see me. And I'm just so thankful for this opportunity to share my story, Katina, and to be a part of your launch and for Arthritis Awareness Month. And so thank you for inviting me. I think I covered everything. Did I miss anything?
No, you didn't. You
Okay,
covered everything, sis. And I
great.
must say that Ashley Nicole is an amazing example of a inflamed sister thriving.
Thank
She is doing so much to raise awareness and to help so many of us inflamed sisters to reach our goals when it comes to our fitness through faith, food, and fitness. And I love how she does it and motivating and tailoring everything to your specific needs, and even encourages you throughout the process by providing so many positive affirmations and
you.
the education that she provides. So she's an amazing coach, and there was no one else that I could do this special with than her. You are a true warrior, but you are truly my inflamed sister thriving. And I am so happy to have connected with you. More information about what Ashley is offering and how to reach her is going to be found in the show notes. In addition, you will be able to select ways that you can actually contact her personally so that you can benefit from her services. If you are an inflamed sister thriving, this is a master fitness instructor for you. So, so in closing, everyone, you have just experienced the Arthritis Awareness Month special sponsored by To Better Days. For our US customers during the month of May and the period of time that this will be available, it will be featured in the notes. They will be having a special offer for you so that if you spend at least $25, you will get free shipping for US customers. And we know this is a UK based product, so we know how shipping internationally can be. So
Mhm.
this is going to be a huge savings. So I encourage you to take
I
advantage
love
of it if you're interested in this product. And more details can be found on my website with all of the information that will be available to you in the show notes as well. So I want to thank To Better Days for sponsoring this episode and for providing us the opportunity to be able to share and raise awareness. And my lovely guest, Ashley Nicole, my RA sister, for joining me as well. You
it.
will see more of us to come. We already got topics coming, y'all. So be
Yes,
ready.
coming in hot. We ready.
So in closing, I want to tell you all, we may be inflamed, but we are
Mhm.
still here. And as long as we are here, let's thrive together always. My
Yeah.
sisters, remember, inflamed sisters always thrive together. Have a wonderful day, and we will be seeing you again very soon. And in closing, let's hit this. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
All